So great to be joined by the UFC light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill, who's coming off an impressive win over Glover Teixeira, where he captured the title at UFC 283. Jamahal, how's it going?
What's going on, Brian? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Always happy to talk to you, Jamahal. This one's even better. You're the new light heavyweight champion. Has life changed at all since winning the belt at UFC 283?
Yeah, it's a lot more people want to talk to you. A lot more people are interested, so it's cool. Brain goes up.
What about like your day to day? Does anything feel different, or is it just like, same old, same old? You just got a little bit of extra, weight on your shoulder with that belt?
Yeah, it's pretty much still the same old.
Let's talk about the fight itself. The one thing I loved about the matchup was the fact that it wasn't a quick knockout. You actually went out there and you went 5 rounds with Glover. You showed a bunch of different skills that I think surprised some people, maybe not others, but some people. But was that more satisfying than getting a quick win? I know you don't get paid by the hour, but to be able to go out there and, put out 5 rounds as opposed to someone saying, oh, well, he just caught him,
It was fun. It was nice. But yeah, I prefer to have a finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro, it was a lot, bro. Yeah, he took a lot of damage.
Have you had a chance to watch back the fight yet?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Do you think it should have been stopped in the 4th round?
I think you could have stopped it in the 3rd round too.
Yeah.
I think the 3rd and the 4th round were both 10-8 rounds.
One of the things that I thought was very interesting in the fight was just how patient you were. Some guys, when they go for the kill, they tend to overexert themselves, but you were very patient in picking your shots. Was that something, just knowing Glover and how durable he was, that went through your head during that moment?
No, that's just how I always am. I'm always controlled. I'm always trying to make the right move and be precise.
Was there anything about him in the fight that surprised you?
Yeah, just how I knew he was tough, but I didn't know he was like Terminator tough, like not falter at all tough. So yeah, that was real surprising.
How did you celebrate? Because I know it was like late at night. I think it was like early in the morning. I think when the card was done, right?
Yeah, by the time I got out of the hospital, it was maybe like around almost 7 in the morning. Got back to the hotel, so we just had some drinks. Started having drinks. Then got some food. We hung out on the rooftop at the hotel. Just had some food and had some drinks and just chilled up there.
What was it like seeing Cody Stamann after the fights? I don't know if you guys got to see each other, but a lot of history there. You guys have fought on cards together, and you got to compete on this card with him where you win the title, and he also won.
Yeah, it was good. We had I seen him whenever I got back. We had our moment, hug and stuff. He's a solid dude, bro. He looked really, really good in his fight. I'm happy for him for the performance that he put on, and bro, I'm excited to see him keep doing his thing. He was actually my 2nd amateur fight. He fought for his 1st title.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on his undercard then. That was dope. It was like a dope thing. Me and him, the only ones from West Michigan representing the UFC, representing inside the UFC. So. He was the first one to make it, kind of show like, all right, yeah, you work, you can get there and things. So, I just kind of follow his plan, just work and do your thing.
What was it like going back to the gym with the belt, that first day walking back in? Tell me about that. Cause there was a lot of people that helped you get to this point, the people in the gym, the coaches, all that stuff. What was that moment like walking back into the gym?
It was great, man. It was like showing, being able to, just show the team that we're doing the right things. That we have the right training here. We have you can be as good as you want to be, as good as you work towards here.
And what was that conversation like with Big Dog Brett Martin when you got back? Because you guys go way back, and here you are coming back with some gold from Brazil.
He's fired up. He's ready to get there. He's ready to do his thing. He's ready to bring his own gold back. And I'm happy and ready for him to get on it too, because I've been waiting.
Yeah, no, we're all excited for his year. So everyone's been talking about Alex Pereira. That's the only thing I've sort of seen since this fight has been done. Does that bother you at all in the sense that, like, you both just won your title? I figure if they were going to do a fight like that, they might wait till both of you defend your titles first. What are your thoughts on that whole scenario and people talking about that potential fight?
It's a little annoying just because I know it's not going to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Like, let me enjoy my win. Let me just have a moment for what I've just done. But people are gonna do what they do, so it is what it is.
Now, I did my best to watch your interview on the MMA Hour. I watched your interview with Mike Bond. I know you mentioned April is sort of the cutoff of what you're going to decide in terms of who's going to face you next for the title. If it comes to April and Yuri's not ready to go, is there anything else that you're looking at opponent-wise? Like, what would be at the top of your preference list in terms of your next opponent?
Whoever the next man up is, whoever separates himself from the pack. Because I know right now they're not looking at, like, they're looking for a contender. They're looking for somebody to step up if Yuri's not ready. So somebody show themselves in these next couple months.
I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. I know on the MMA Hour you mentioned how there isn't really anyone like a clear-cut contender, but I know you also felt like Magomed Ankalaev did enough to probably earn that decision over Jan Blachowicz. If they gave you Magomed as the next opponent, do you think that's fair, or do you think he would still need to prove something?
I think that's fair. I mean, that's what it is. He's right there at the top, so he's put himself in position to be considered for those things. I'm not just gonna sit and just be like, oh, he didn't deserve. Like, bro, he's right. He's up at the top. If I'm ready to go and I'm ready to fight, I fight who's available. I think, and that's actually, I wouldn't mind knocking him the fuck out just for the simple fact that people keep bringing his name up, talking to me.
Yeah, well, he's got a passionate fan base too, and there's all types of things. I think it would be a really, really big fight if it was to happen.
I thought I was good with the Russian fan base until I won. Yeah, they mad as hell for Magomed. I'm like, God damn.
But that's part of the territory, right? Like, once you get to a certain point, then you get as much love as you're getting, you get the hate. It just comes with it, and there's nothing you can do about it, And ideally, like, when would be the ideal time for you to fight again? Would it be like International Fight Week? Would it be earlier than that? You said April was the cutoff date. When would you like to have the next fight if you could choose?
I'd like to fight by International Fight Week.
There you go. Again, I think the stars are sort of aligning. I'm going to throw one more name out here because you guys didn't talk about it in the MMA Hour. What about Aleksandar Rakic? Because you could argue that, well, Rakic did lose his last fight. It was an injury similar to what happened to Anthony Smith. And I think some people would argue Rakic looked better against Jan Blachowicz than Anthony Smith did against Ankalaev. What do you think about that?
I think he was winning the fight against Jan Blachowicz before his injury, but something like this is still, it happened. So, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do from that. He tore his ACL, right?
Yeah, he said, though, I interviewed him at the end of the year, and he said he'd probably be ready to go at least for the summer, at the very least. He thinks maybe even the spring he could take a fight.
I think summer probably be like realistic for him. So, yeah, bro. I'm not really gonna sit here and be like, oh, such hasn't earned this or such. I was number 7 and got a title shot. So,
yeah. No, and I know that about you. You'll fight anyone. I mean, that's just the way you've always been, right? So it's not a case of like, anything's different.
Yeah, I'm ready to whoop anybody. I ain't tripping at all, bro. I'm ready to start collecting red rubies.
What about a style matchup with you and Rakic? How do you think a fight like that would go? Just looking at his style compared to what you do.
I think he's just gonna try to sit back, play counter fight, and try to attack, try to wrestle whenever he can. I don't think he's not gonna, it'd be like the same thing with Glover, just with a bigger, a little more athletic dude.
Fight that's probably not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately, because he lost on your card is Paul Craig. I know there's a lot of respect, a lot of history there. Craig obviously losing another fight. If that fight never happens, that rematch, would that bother you in your career, or are you kind of past it at this point?
No, I'm kind of like, I'm past it just because of the simple fact I've reached the top. So now it's only the best of the best, and that's what I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight the best of the best. And if he puts some stuff together and puts him in a run and go back and get that fight, great. But if not, it is what it is.
Switching gears here a little bit, I mentioned the MMA Hour interview, which, by the way, thanks for the name drop on that. I thought that was cool about because we were talking about Pereira, obviously, in one of our interviews. But Ariel brought up the whole Dana White thing and kind of used that as a way to say, like, hey, you can't give me a hard time about saying what I said about Pereira because I didn't go after you for that. I don't really see the comparison, though. That was the thing that kind of surprised me. And I like Ariel a lot. I just felt like, what do these two things have in common? Did you kind of feel the same way?
Bro, it's like I felt it was random as hell. Mm-hmm. It was a to me, but clearly he's found some way to pull my name into relevancy with that situation just because he's got a hard on for trying to destroy Dana, just trying to make Dana look bad and all this other shit, which I don't get what like. It makes sense. Like a lot of the shit makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense why he didn't want to give me my credit or you know what I mean, or just try to down talk what I've done and everything like that, just for the simple fact, like, because yeah, I don't know, bro. Yeah, that was weird, and it was honestly it was a bitch move on his part.
Well, and I'll just say that, like, again, I know the banter that you guys had, and I thought it was very entertaining. You and I had a similar sort of banter initially when the fight was announced, because of course I picked Glover to start off with, and you had fun with it. But yeah, I just didn't understand what the Dana White thing had to do with him, saying that thing about Pereira. I thought that was a bit odd. And
only difference is you didn't try to throw me under the fucking bus because I was making more sense to you, and I was, you know what I mean, like that was just like. That was weird, bro. That was literally, that would have been the same as me just being like, oh, I hear you don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? But it was like just completely out of no fucking where. Yeah, that was some bullshit, bro.
And just last thing, which I found really disappointing, and again, people have their right to criticize people or whatever, but I did notice after you won the title, there was a few people on social media mentioning about how you're an Andrew Tate supporter and all this stuff, and this is who the UFC is propping up. Like, does that surprise you to see that? You win this title, there's a long journey to get the belt, and people are going the negative route. Did that surprise you at all?
No, not really, because that's kind of like a common occurrence of like what people like to be in. Like, I mean, they just say like, oh, your family, because you see a clip and somebody says something, it's like, yo, this makes a lot of sense, maybe it's a message some people can hear, you know what I mean, or whatever, can start a conversation people need it. And then they're just like, oh, you completely support it, like, you know what I mean, they just take things and they go completely far however they want to with it, you know what I mean, things like that, you know what I mean, like, so it's just like,
it's a culture, and what's unfortunate is like I could see if you were wearing like an Andrew Tate T-shirt, or you're like like on social media constantly promoting him, but to make that connection, I thought that was a bit unfair, just because you just won the title, and it's not like you're going out of your way to do stuff like that. Whether I have no sort of dog in the fight, so to speak, but I just think like if you're gonna say that someone's like supporting this person, there has to be more evidence than just like, hey, I thought this clip was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It's just like, bro, people like whatever. It's like that's the game now, right? The game is just, I'm just gonna try to throw dirt on your name, try to make you look bad in any type of way possible. You know what I mean? People understand what makes people react or look or triggers people. You know what I mean? People don't actually look for like facts or look for like, you know what I mean, like what's really going on. They just want to attach something that's just triggering to your name, to trigger people against you, and which is easy to do that, you know what I mean? I just seen a video of this lady talking about she had never seen like a I think it was like a Kevin Samuels video. She had never watched one of his videos, but she hated him, she hated him based off of the fact of what she was told and what other people told her, like other people were told her not to like him. I mean, so she didn't, she didn't know nothing about him for herself, and people take advantage that some people are like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. We live in a very different society than we did a few years ago. That's for sure. Okay. On more positive notes, we finally get to see this. We get to see Jon Jones return next month, or 2 months from now, I should say, in March. Were you surprised to see him come back, that they finally were able to work something out, or were you expecting him to fight this year?
No, I was expecting him to come back at some point. I mean, I'm just happy that he's back, and I just can't wait to watch.
Who wins that fight with him and Ciryl Gane, do you think?
That's a good fight, dude. That's a good fight. I think a lot of the things that Jon does well, Ciryl Gane does well as also. I think Jon's ability to grapple and mix it in is really good, but so is Ciryl Gane's. I think the one edge that I think Jon may have is chain wrestling. Mm-hmm. So once we get him down, I think he could be able to actually chain some offense together to get him down and hold him down. And we know how damaging Jon is from top position once you're on the ground. So we get to see that. So.
But who wins, though? I know you can't bet on the fight, but like if you had to give the edge to someone, I think Jon is considered the betting favorite right now. Do you agree with that, or should it be Ciryl because he's been in the division longer, he's been more active?
I think Jon should be the betting favorite just because what we've seen from him and we know his abilities. But I wouldn't be completely terrified to throw my money on Ciryl Gane if the betting odds got too crazy.
Mhm.
You know, because Ciryl Gane is still a nasty, bad motherfucker.
Don't you think too, and we talked about this in the last interview, about him moving up? Like, I think that's a big thing that people are kind of losing sight of. Like, I know he's had time to bulk up, but still, like, the divisions are different to a certain degree. The power, all that types of stuff. Do you think that's being overlooked with Jon? Because I feel like people are just looking at Jon, the light heavyweight version, but we don't know how that'll translate to heavyweight.
Well, no, because Jon knows, he's been in the gym. I doubt he's not just going with small guys. So he's had some heavyweight looks and things like that. So he knows the low, like the power and the strength and things that he's dealing with. He knows that. Jon's not stupid, So yeah, I think he's already simulated that. I think he's already accounted for that. But a fight is a fight still. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. But as far as things like that, I don't apply things like that to Jon just because.
He's Jon. Yeah. No, I get it for sure. And now that you're champ, has it crossed your mind now about a potential fight with him at some point? I don't know. Like, again, you just won the title. I want to be clear about that. I like champions defending their belts and then we start talking about super fights. Yeah. But now that you've won the belt, has it crossed your mind about getting to fight him maybe at heavyweight?
Yeah, it's never stopped crossing my mind, 1,000%. I want to build I still got some building to do, right? I still have defenses that I have to make and things like that. But is that something that a challenge that I want for the future? Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, it's very exciting, right? So to have him back. I mentioned Alex Pereira earlier. He is going to be fighting Israel again in their rematch in the MMA cage anyways. Do you think Alex retains this title or do you think Izzy gets it done in the rematch?
I think Izzy's a bit more calculated. I think he comes in more prepared. This time it's crazy because Alex is now beating him 3 times. But yeah, I think I take Izzy. I think I take Izzy because I think he was winning. He was winning that last fight convincingly, and I think he might have expected him to, especially after seeing him wobble, having him wobbled in like the end of the first or the second. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But he probably he felt like, oh, I can get him out. I think he understands a little bit more. Like he's got to be a little bit more working more on point. I think Izzy. I think I give one to Izzy. I don't think he's 4 times out of 4 better than Izzy.
A couple rapid fire questions, and we'll get you out of here. And just whatever comes to mind when I say this. Who do you think is the best striker in the UFC besides you?
Alexander Volkanovski.
Best grappler?
Islam.
Who's the funniest fighter besides you?
Funniest fight, man, dude, that's hard, bro. Like, cause like here's the thing, cause like a lot of people say like there's some funny ass dudes in the UFC, bro. Like really funny, like yeah, super funny. Like I said, Kevin Holland's up there. It may not get along, but I think Chris Curtis is funny as shit.
Who's the most annoying fighter?
Probably Kobe Covington.
Who's the best looking fighter?
I remember what her name is. I think her name is like Warrior Princess or some shit like that. She got black hair.
Oh, Cheyenne of Lismus?
Yeah, she's cute.
Who would you want to have dinner with the most as a fighter? Like who if you could go to dinner with one UFC fighter, who would it be?
Glover Teixeira, because I owe Glover Teixeira. I'll Glover Teixeira some beers and some food stuff,
Who would you want by your side in a street fight?
Jon Jones.
Who has the highest fight IQ?
Me.
And what is your dream fight?
Jon Jones.
Any word on the UFC going back to Detroit? I was at that card a couple of years ago. It was Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez, Francis Ngannou, Alistair Overeem. Great crowd, great arena. If Leon Edwards can get his first title defense in England, how come you can't get yours in Detroit?
I'm not from Detroit.
Well, Michigan, whatever. I mean, it's close enough,
I haven't heard anything about it. Right now it's just I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. I just want victims, bro. I really just want victims right now. Like I'm annoyed. I'm a little pissed off. So I want to make some people feel it.
Why are you pissed off?
Disrespect. I feel disrespected.
Okay. That's fair. And last question. What is the coolest message you've got since becoming champion? I don't know if it was like another fighter or someone reaching out to you. What message out of all the messages you've got has stood out to you if you could pick one? Just
all the love. There's not one like that. I just want put up over anybody. It was just all the love. I appreciate it. You know, I'm appreciative that I'm able to help, that I motivate people or people even care. You know, so it's just been humbling and yeah, man, just it's a time in life that I'll enjoy and I'll treasure it forever.
Jamahal, thanks so much for the time, man. Congratulations on winning the title. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, sponsors, social media, you name it, I'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank everybody. You know, y'all know where to find me on social media. Y'all know where to find me. I don't.
You got new T-shirts too. Full Violence. I saw those. Where can people get those? Full Violence or something?
Go on the Full Violence website. That actually ends in a couple of days. So if you want to get those, you might want to get them now. But yeah, I have more things coming, things like that. Just keep up with my Instagram and my social media. Yeah.